plotted leaders against one another. And if someone is hurt in the line of duty, error that's going to happen on the north side, on the south side, here with respect and dignity as we work through these tough issues.
So for everybody, Damien Jones for the Damien Jones podcast. Hope you're blessed. Hope you're well. Hope you're safe. Wanted to come to you really quickly about something that jumped into my headlines early this morning pertaining to the NAACP. Okay. Make sure you like our broadcast right now. Make sure you share, bring others into the conversation. Let me know what you think about this topic in the comments. But this is the Damien Jones podcast where you find the best conversation in America. And the NAACP, this storied civil rights organization, they call themselves the oldest and the boldest and the coldest, and I've always had great respect for the NAACP. I've attended their conferences, things of that nature. And some years back, the NAACP really lost any luster, any credibility. They were just doing stuff under their previous leadership. Really just lost any um, visibility that they had. They were just doing stuff, right? And then came wonderful leader Derek Johnson, who's now the president, came from my home state, Mississippi's NAACP, and he's worked his way through. I've met him a couple times. Great young man. And under his leadership, they have been more guided. They have been more visible. They have been louder on modern issues. They have somewhat gone away from the old style "we shall overcome" stuff, but um, have a very good program going over there, and systems have been modernized. However, when I see this headline that the NAACP is now calling for pro athletes in the NBA, the MLB, the NFL, NHL, all these other major sports to avoid signing with Texas teams as a free agent. Why, you may ask? Because of the laws that have been recently passed in the state of Texas, two in particular, SB1, which relates to the voting process. Some call it voter suppression. Others say it's making the vote more secure from fraud. So SB1 very controversial, and also SB8, which deals with the heartbeat law, which is saying you have 6 weeks to decide whether you want an abortion or not. Any abortions after 6 weeks is against the law. And so the NAACP, I guess, disagrees with those laws and calling those laws racist, calling those laws old, and things of that nature, right? And so let me tell you what they said in their release. One of the things that really stood out to me, okay, is they said, and here's my position is this. One, I think this position by the NAACP is ridiculous, number one. Number two, they claim not to be a partisan organization, but by not, although they haven't said they're Democrats, they are showing that they agree with Democrats, the Democratic position on this. Um, then they go on and say, because here's the thing about Texas, you can't speak for everybody in Texas. You can't speak for black people in Texas. Here it is. They says, if you are a woman, avoid Texas. If you are black, avoid Texas. Right? You see, and this is why people are out of touch with their positions, especially on the state of Texas. And I do what I can to dispel some of these myths. Um, there are a lot of black people that agree with SB1 and agree with SB8 as it relates to abortion. There's a conversation around how abortion has decimated the black community in the last 30 to 40 years, right? So there are a lot of black people who agree with limiting the abortion time frame to 6 weeks. There are a lot of black people, myself included, that agree with SB1, the voter security, voter integrity bill that is not attacking folks' rights. It's attacking to stop voter fraud from happening, which historically, with evidence, has shown that it's been happening within Democratic spaces in Texas. So the NAACP cannot speak for all black people in this state, right? They didn't ask me, they didn't quiz me. And then we have great businesses, great universities in this state. We have, if not the first or the second top city with the most uh, business headquarters in this state, because businesses love to come here and create jobs, right? Businesses love to come here because they get tax breaks. Athletes want to come to Texas because we don't pay a state income tax, right? So who is the NAACP to make such a statement to one, to try to infringe on how an athlete makes his living and takes care of his family, right? You're not speaking for black people when you make statements like that. That's not democracy. You know, when you try to use this time now that the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros are in the playoffs, in the World Series, two states that have recently passed controversial laws as it relates to the voting process. You know, you can't shut down the World Series. You can't stop sports just because you don't agree with a political decision. The NAACP says they're not political, but what is this? What is this? This is political, right? And if an athlete wants to come to Texas and feed their family and keep more of their money, then by golly, the NAACP can't stop them from doing so. Because we have a great state here. Our teams do well. The black median income here is higher than most states. Black folks are doing well in this state. So how about Derek Johnson come on down and meet with us? Meet with me. I'll tell you everything that's going on in this state, in this city, in this county, so forth and so on. Right? Your local NAACP chapter is none visible, is not loud, is not doing anything as it relates to the issues plaguing our communities. And now the national organization wants to come in and peek their head into Texas business. People love the Cowboys. People love the Astros. People love the Rockets, the Mavericks, all these different teams. Don't rain on somebody's parade when they want to take their kids to see different sporting events and support certain players because you can't handle your business on the political side, legislators. Then you want to go and have the NAACP do your dirty work. The NAACP is out of line, is out of touch, and should not make a statement in that particular way. You want to solve these issues and get better laws passed, then focus on the lobbying aspect of it, right? Find a way to meet the majority in the middle on these particular issues. But this is just a ridiculous statement. I expected better from the NAACP. I have a high respect for the leaders in the NAACP, but this is not right. How about you come talk to some folks in Texas that are not affiliated with the NAACP, and we'll tell you what's going on here. A lot of black folks, a lot of Texans agree with SB1 and SB8, right? Hell, you can't even figure out what's going on in Atlanta. You tell the folks in Atlanta, the president of Atlanta who stood up, what does the NAACP stand for if chapters can't speak on issues and candidates in their local areas? Not saying to endorse, but you denounced those folks in Atlanta who gave their grievances about Kasim Reed and said they should not be political. Then you turn around and make a national statement about a political issue and certain political laws. Makes no sense. Makes no sense to me. Out of touch, out of line. Stay out of this state if you don't want to do any serious work here, because these statements from afar will not push our state forward. Tell me what you think in the comments. I'm gonna end this video before I get too hot about this, and I may talk more about it later in the week. But really appreciate you. Tell me what you think in the comments. Subscribe right now as well. appreciate you. The best conversation in America. This is the Damien Jones Podcast.